AMCS is just a third-party system. They designed the technology and system to be able to take the inputs of the crane, draw it on a map, and offer us both X and Y as well as Z zoning. It can be utilized for 3D zoning for a power line or a prohibited zone, something like that. Then also has the option for radio communication between multiple cranes. You can have up to 10 cranes communicating with each other, and they will not allow a load to be passed over the top of another crane. So it works there together, radio and back and forth. Very crude installation. Everything has a magnetic backer on it, but we have just this small little box. All these boxes are labeled with what box they are. In the installation guide, it'll reference this box. It doesn't do a very good job of explaining how or where to wire things in, but at least we know this box here, this is the UA60, this is the power box. So what this does is this takes 480 volts from the crane and converts it into 24 volts for the system to use. On the CCS machines like the MDT219, I just take 24 volts from the crane because the transformer is large enough, it is able to support this system and the 24 volts that it needs for itself. The T85 does not. It has a very small transformer, so we're going to utilize this guy here. So power coming in here in the black cable, we're actually taking 480 volts from the BR4 strip, which is located here. So 480 volts, single phase, and then we utilize a ground as well. It goes into our box, transforms into 24 volts. This all winds out and around and ends up here into basically the general hub that everything will plug into. So it's a central system. So power cable comes in here, powers this guy up. We have several connectors on here. The blue, as is blue tape here, which has been added by the previous installer. It's not necessarily something that is provided by AMCS, but it goes up here to our light. Should the operator at any time bypass the zoning, it'll turn on that light as a warning that it's been overridden. So with that blue connector, the light icon is the light. Obviously we have an override box here where we can shut off our zones, our anti-collision, or both. That comes in and is hardwired into this central system. So it's using this just watertight connector to go in through here. Next, we also have some additional connectors. This green connector here, it's hard to see, but there is a little trolley symbol there. So we're running this inside our control panel, and we have it wired into our processor. Our J11 plug here is actually used for top tracing. So that if we outfitted this with a Potain system of top tracing, it tells us where our trolley signal is at. We're just tapping into that same port there for an analog signal for our trolley position. We also have this large cord here. If you see next to it, is for the display. So we have it running around. Our display we've just mounted to the front. Our red taped connector is going to go over to our added encoder rather, for our slewing. So it's coming over here to the front, and again that's added on by AMCS. The orange connector is going to go inside and connects to our control box, which actually controls and limits the operation for trolley and swing. The orange connector comes in. This is our control box. This has an output here that goes into our X strip. X strip is an auxiliary input terminal strip, which what this box does is once it decides we're coming close to a zone, it does two things. It slows you down, and it also prevents you from moving any further. In our case, it's going to be with slewing and trolley. All plugged in here to our X strip. We also have an additional white cable here that is just jumpered across the yellow and the brown. Otherwise, if we wanted to bypass the system, we could remove this large plug. Attached to it is a jumper plug that jumps everything out, so it prevents our control box from disabling the crane in any way, or we could simply unplug it and reattach all of our jumpers that are in this strip, which comes standard with the crane. On our display here, we're going to see our 360-degree angle with our crane in the center. The black icon is our trolley position. So what it's going to do is it's going to tell us this red prohibited zone we're not allowed to enter, either by swing or by trolley. When we get to that point, we'll actually see another blue circle show up here. Yellow indicates slowdown with an arrow of what function is being slowed down. Red arrow indicates prohibited function. Our swing radius is here, which is using this encoder here to determine what degree of angle it is, and then our trolley position there as well. So we'll see icon comes up with the yellow area. We are now in the slowdown with our trolley. As I continue to trolley out, that yellow arrow will turn to a red arrow to indicate that it's stop motion. And we're nearing our stop and stop. So now we see we cannot trolley out, nor can we swing to the left. We still have trolley in, and we do have swing to the right. And we can, but as we see here, now we have slow down swinging to the left until we come in even further. So when we have our slowdown that's in the programming menu, we can set how far of a distance away from our stopping point we want to slow down, as well as the ramp angle of slowing down. So as to say, more often with a longer jib crane, how much it slows down before it comes to its stopping point when you're in a swinging motion.